Hey guys, it's Matt from You and Your Horror Movies, and I am doing another random review. I'm doing a little bit of an Asian horror review. I've been trying to get a nice, good horror Asian collection going. It's small but surely picking up. I found this movie by accident. I don't know how I found it. I think I found it on eBay by accident, just going through some horror Blu-rays. This popped up, so I did a little research on it. It looked interesting. I watched the trailer. The trailer looked pretty good, so I picked it up. It's from 2007. I am horrible saying Asian names, so I apologize ahead of time if I completely destroy these names. But the movie from 2007 is called X-Cross. Never heard of this film before. Tokyo Shock put it out. The director is Kenta Fukasuko. Okay, whatever. He is the son of the director who did Battle Royale. He also helped his father with Battle Royale 2 because the father died, I think, in 2002, and he helped pick it up afterwards. He also directed Yo-Yo Girl Cop. This movie was very interesting. Pretty much the synopsis of this film is you have two friends. One friend's name is Shiori, and the other one is Akio. Like I said, I'm horrible saying these names. They're on a trip to a hot springs. Come to find out with Shiori, she found her boyfriend cheating. So Akiro decides to take her to this hot springs in this weird small town in the mountains. This small town has a little bit of a history to it that no one knows about. She said she looked them up online, said, we should go here, so she did. A lot of deceit in this film. And the way this movie is played, it's played in 4 parts. It plays the first part, and pretty much what it is this little bit of a Shiori. You find out why her boyfriend cheated, and they're on the trip during the hot springs. She gets out of the hot springs water, leaves her friend there, and she goes back into the lodge. She finds this phone in the closet. Now, in the beginning of the movie, you find someone else in this lodge and how this phone got here. And pretty much, you find a little bit of the history of the village. Her brother calls the phone, and of course, she picks up, she's like, who is this? And comes to find out some unnamed man. Does a little history. This village was a bunch of woodcutters. Would go out and chop wood and everything and build everything from wood. Well, they decided that they wanted their women to stay. For them, women were the gods. So they would capture their women and cut off their left leg so they would not leave. And then pretty much praise them. Well, the town decides to expand this tradition over and over the years. It starts capturing women just wandering around. The town starts to go batshit crazy and starts grabbing women and, of course, cutting off their left leg. And they have these fetishes with the left leg. Weird. And, of course, when the women die, they hoist them up on these weird crosses, and they act like scarecrows to ward off evil spirits and to prevent catastrophes from happening. Well, now it zooms to part 2. Part 2 is pretty much with Akio there. As soon as her friend Shori leaves the water, she calls someone random saying, she left the water, it's on. Well, now, with Akio's story, this weird-ass woman comes out, and they almost hit her with a car in the beginning. She has this patch on, she has this little luggage bag and an umbrella. Well, she's back. This time, she has a pair of scissors. Good size, hedge trimming scissors, and starts to chase after Akio. And there's a whole storyline between her and this weird-ass woman dressed up as a little girl with a patch and these shears, so that she goes fighting her. And it then goes back and forth, back and forth. Weird-ass film, but enjoyable. I'm not going to get much into it because there's a lot of double-crossing in this film. There is a lot of interesting aspects with legs. They show a lot of women's legs in the film. They have another friend that's back home. She broke her leg, and of course, this shows the cast on the leg, and she does research for them. Well, there's a whole fight between her and Akio with Shiori, and she doesn't believe her. They come to find out there is no town, this village on the internet. There's no history, so it's kind of like a okay, who's double crossing who? Pretty cool. All right, my thoughts on this film. There's not a lot of gore at all. I wish there was. There could have been more interesting with more gore, but the storyline was fantastic. I thought the whole who is who and everything, that was pretty good. The fight scene with the crazy lady and Akio was good, because there's another scene where she's in a lumber yard, and she's got these big ass motherfucking scissors. I mean, they are fucking huge. They're like, if someone was 5'10", the scissors would be 5'5", like the height, and the width was astronomically huge. So she's fighting this one girl with a chainsaw. That fight scene was pretty cool, and it has a little bit of a weird twist to it. This is all in Japanese. You have to read it, so it's English dubbed. Other than that, it was really good. Like I said, the only thing that could have been better was more gore. Except most of the gore was at the end with some of the villagers. I don't want to get much into that because that will ruin some of the things. But the whole leg fetish was interesting. Cutting off the leg, and they actually would cut the leg and then serve it and eat it. Everybody. And the townsfolk were pretty ugly. They showed this one individual. The teeth were all fucked up. The face was just fucked up. A lot of the villagers are all hobbling on legs. There's something to do with that too. A lot of little hidden gems. And their cell phones, the two girls would communicate back and forth on their cell phones. And the lights on the phone, one would be blue and one would be red. That was kind of interesting how they did that too. So if you're definitely into Asian horror, I like it. Check it out for sure. For a buy, I would buy it. This was cheap. I got this for under $10. It was a fun watch. I highly recommend it. If you're not into Asian horror, maybe hold off and start maybe checking out some other Asian horror, but definitely get this for your collection if you are into Asian horror. Very twisted. A lot of twisted, weird shit. Love it. Alright guys, this is my random review for the 2007 film X-Cross. Check it out guys. Thanks very much for watching. Like, subscribe. I'd like to hear your thoughts on this if you've seen it, and just overall thoughts. Thanks guys. Peace.